Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's good?
Not much, man. Chilling, chilling. You know what I'm saying? Getting close to Thanksgiving time. One of my
Yes,
favorite times of the year. You know what I'm saying?
dog, you know I'm ready to eat. You know
Dog,
I'm ready to eat. I
for real.
don't know about the meaning of the holiday and all that, but I know I love time with my family and I love to eat. So,
Agree. That's all. That's all I look at. That's all I look at.
yeah, so it's going down for sure. But yeah, we back, man. Say Like a Champ, episode 65 today.
I know.
It's pretty crazy, man. 65 weeks in a row. Every Tuesday we here for y'all. So,
For sure. Big time, man. As always, man, if you're tuning in live or tuning in after we post the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, catch us on TikTok at Say Like a Champ Podcast and on Instagram as well at Say Like a Champ _podcast. We really appreciate that. So, if it's your first time joining the show, welcome. And we're about to jump into it.
yeah, let's get it. I'm going to go ahead and pop off with the branding. I think we're all good. I think we cleared some things. So,
Yeah,
we'll see what's up. But yeah, we'll get right to it. Let's get it.
lots to talk about.
Like a champ, they opened up my eyes. Said like a champ, I didn't know sports till they told me what I do, baby. Said like a champ, they opened up my eyes. Said like a champ, Myra and Marcus, Strizzy and yes, they do too. They opened up my eyes.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
And we back, man.
Yes. As we said, Say Like a Champ, episode 65. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy in the building.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Lot to talk about, lots of different
Definitely.
things going on. So I think we'll go ahead and just jump right into our initial topic of the day.
For sure. Let's get it popping.
From one intro slide to another. Let's get it. What's up next?
Oh, let's check it out, man, real quick.
Oh, tune to NFL talk. Let's get it. All right. So NFL talk. About to get it popping, man. Week 11. Another crazy week in the NFL.
I know. I had a rough weekend in the pickup too.
Yeah,
I didn't do so well. I didn't do so well.
I did pretty bad in the pick'em. But I do have to shout out to MW3 Pops, Mr. Marvelous.
Okay.
He was the Week 11 winner, and that means he's a 3-time champ now. 3 out of 11 weeks is pretty darn good. And I think he's won the most, out of everybody so far. So that's what's up.
Dog, we're slacking, bro.
I know. I need to get my stuff together for
I
sure.
know.
I mean, I was right about the Rams game, but a couple of different things, went through. There was a lot of upsets, though. There was a lot of upsets for sure.
There definitely were for sure.
I definitely wanted to talk about the Colts-Packers game, though. That was pretty good, man.
Yeah,
We had talked about that was going to be a tough game.
for sure.
But the Packers looked like early on they could do what they needed to do, and then they just kind of stopped scoring.
Colts came back, man. Like we said, dude. We picked Green Bay because you look at the two quarterbacks as like they should pull this out, but
Right.
the Colts are still a really good team, man. And the
Rodrigo Blankenship, though, he came through in the clutch, Mr. Georgia kicker.
yeah,
With that game-winning kicker, that's what's up. I really love him still, of course, from Georgia. So
for sure. But I don't know, man. It was a really good game though, nail biter, down to the wire type game. And the Colts are good, dude. Their defense is really good. That offensive line is really solid. The rookie had a really big game. I think he rushed over 100 yards.
yeah, Taylor, I think that was his best game so far.
Yeah, so far. Like they have 3 running backs that they're using right now. They're kind of in that same boat like the Ravens are right now.
Right.
But all 3 of them are actually really good, and they use them for different things.
Dude, and when Marlon Mack comes back, it's going to be like a whole nother problem.
Even
too.
harder. I know. Seriously, man. So they're using Hines, Taylor, and I always forget the Wilson. I always forget the dude's name, but they're using 3 of them, and that doesn't even include Marlon Mack. So, but man, they're really good, dude. They most definitely are. So
Tough
can't count them
physical
out.
team.
Definitely.
No, not at all. Another thing that was sucky though, Joe Burrow going down, tore his ACL and his MCL, and then they
Yeah,
said other structural damage. That was really rough to see him get carted off like that. Another player down for the year. There's been so many.
for sure.
At least like almost probably 10 big time players that have gone down for the year. So
For sure. And
um,
it's really rough too because when you tear the MCL and the ACL, you can't just go in and do surgery. So they have to wait for a lot of that swelling to go down around the MCL as
dude,
well.
Saquon Barkley had to wait like almost 2 months before he had a
Right,
surgery.
right. And Burrow's gonna be in the same boat. So it's probably gonna be closer to the 12-month year before he comes back, not necessarily that 9-month time frame. So
That's right.
prayers to him. That kind of sucks, especially your rookie year. You're showing good signs on, you know what I mean? Like he was doing pretty well. I mean, the teams wasn't winning, but he was showing signs as a really good kind of future quarterback for them. And kind of sucks he's going to miss out on some of the rest of these games.
Absolutely. Well, before we get into the next game I want to talk about, though, I do want to bring on our permanent special guest, Miss Myra May. I think she's in the building. I think she's ready. Let's see.
All right, bet.
Yo,
SLACers.
what,
she's back. That's good.
what up, girl?
What up? What up? Yeah,
You know,
I'm still doing this on my phone. My laptop done just quit on me. It's all good. We're here. We
You know what I'm
made it.
saying?
I'm not gonna say
Sorry.
it too loud, but mine is probably about to quit on me too. Like, it's
Yeah.
time for an upgrade for sure.
My Mac was like on my couch and it got real hot one day, right? And I'm like, well, let me unplug it. I open that, never turn back on. I'm like, okay, let me take it in to get fixed. And they're like, no, it's gone. Like there's no coming back.
That was the last
Dang.
blast.
Yeah, and I was like, let's check the warranty on it. It's got warranty. They're like, oh yeah, the warranty expired March 2020. I'm like,
Oh,
are you kidding me?
Dang.
just passed. Dang, that sucks.
So I'll have another one hopefully by next week. But yeah, I'm running on my phone, so we gonna make this happen.
Hey, it's working just fine.
There's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely. Always.
That's what's up though. But yeah, we were just talking about the Burrow injury, how much that sucks.
Yeah.
But we didn't get to the big Sunday night game, the Chiefs Raiders. I wanted to get your thoughts on that game. No more riding the bus, apparently.
Apparently not. No more riding the bus. The Chiefs let the Raiders have it on this one. And I really thought it was expected. So we knew Coach was going to come in with a game plan. The fact that he talked about the buses bothering him so much, you knew absolutely they were going to come in and try to dominate. And that's what happened. So nothing surprising there. There was a couple that did surprise me, but I'll get you all's take on the Chiefs versus Raiders.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think the Raiders kind of held their own. But I think it kind of was what it was expected. But Strizzy, what do you think?
Yeah, it's funny. A couple weeks ago, I want to say 2 weeks ago, we talked about there's no real team that's really scary out there. And honestly, I'm conceding the Chiefs are a really scary team, and I'm gonna say why. I feel like they just play with their food. You know what I mean? They're one of those teams that just, in a sense, it's kind of like Golden State. I think I mentioned this even last week too. When they had Kevin Durant, they could be kind of playing around and somehow, no clue how they do it. They could be down 30 in the fourth quarter and then outscore you by 15 and win by 15. You know what I'm saying? Like, catch up, go up by 15 and win the game. And that's how the Chiefs are to me. They had to go down. They scored in 60 seconds on that final drive.
Yeah,
Like it was nothing. It looked effortless.
where was that the whole game? Yeah,
Right. And I feel like when they do that, when Patrick Mahomes comes out and does that, it's like he comes out, he's like, it's winning time. All right, don't worry, I got it. And they just went downfield, and Raiders had nothing. Like they had nothing. Like they were with them all game, and then all of a sudden he just comes downfield and just made them look like a Pop Warner team, and it was crazy. Like that's kind of scary, man. You know what I mean? Like it looked effortless. He wasn't even sweating. His post game interview, he wasn't even sweating. It was crazy. It was nuts.
For me, it's like they always excel when their backs are against the wall. It's almost like they need that pressure in order to make the cohesiveness of the team. And I do agree with you, Strizzy. It's like Patrick Mahomes literally carries the teams on his back. Like, it's time to win. Let's get it done. We've talked about this over and over, and we have several Chiefs fans that check into our podcast. But yeah, man, it's almost scary to not say that they would go back to back.
Yeah.
But at this point, like they look like the front runners to possibly go back to back.
They have to beat themselves, I think, to not repeat. I think a team's really gonna have to come in there, take them off guard, and the Chiefs are gonna really have to kind of like really shoot themselves in the foot to not be able to get back into it and win it in order for them to not repeat. I think they're that good.
Well, we even saw it in the playoff run. They kept going down by like 14, by like 20, and then just coming right back. So
yeah,
they definitely are. They definitely look like the most dangerous team in the NFL
for sure. And they're playing good teams too. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Steelers are still undefeated. We'll talk about them as well. But they've had one of the easier schedules, I think, this year. And they're gonna play a Baltimore team that's kind of depleted this Thursday on Thanksgiving. But like the Chiefs, they're tested, man. They're pretty tested. They played some pretty tough teams. The Raiders twice, and the Raiders are a good team, man. Like that's not a slouch team. They've looked pretty good this year. So I don't know. We'll see, man. It's still a really good team, and Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion, is still the best quarterback in the league. So
yeah. Well, let's touch on that Ravens game though. That was kind of surprising. A lot of us picked the Ravens. We knew it was going to be a close game, but man, I happened to be watching though, in overtime, and when the Ravens didn't score, I was like, man, they're really in trouble. And when they were like getting into field goal range, and Derrick Henry ripped off that run and broke their spirit, man. But
they held him in check too for the majority of the game. It was just that one,
yeah, but that's the type of thing where like the Titans are that type of team where they'll just wear on you eventually.
Yeah.
Their defense isn't what it used to be, but they had enough to get it done. And then now after the game, the Raiders having that big loss, and then a couple players down with COVID.
Yeah. That includes Ingram and Dobbins. I mean, yeah, exactly. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy watching my Ravens team kind of struggle like this. I mentioned this at the trade deadline area, and they kept trying to buff up the defense. I was like, and they really should have been going after some offensive players. And it's showing, man. The offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, he did well last year, but I feel like he always does that. Me and my boy Dave talked about this. He has a really, really good first year, and then defensive coordinators figure him out, and then his second year on, he doesn't do very well. And it's showing right now. You know what I mean? And it sucked because they don't even have the offensive personnel to be able to get shut down like this. You know what I mean? It's like Kansas City Chiefs have a rough offensive night, but they still have a bunch of players to kind of get around that.
Right.
The Ravens don't have that. And, man, I'll be honest. I would not be surprised if they fall out of the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns take their spot.
Man.
And I know it's a lot, but like they're probably going to lose this Thursday. I think the Steelers are going to get them again. I really think they're going to sweep them. And I can see the Browns winning again this upcoming week. So I don't know. It's rough, man. They're going through a rough patch right now. They got to fix it, and they don't even really have the cap space to really get anybody big. They're going to have to build offensively through the draft. Right. They have a lot of money built into that defense right now, and I think they're also really missing C.J. Mosley too, man. They should have let him go.
He holds it down.
Exactly. They could have let Judon go. Don't franchise Judon and give C.J. that money. So they're struggling, and it's showing in the locker room too.
Yes, Anna, and I agree with you, Strizzy. It's like they didn't have an answer there on the offensive side. Like their defense always seems to hold it down, but offensively, in this game, they had nothing happening on the run. Absolutely nothing happening on the run. And the most receiving yards they had was Andrews. He had 5 receptions for 90.
And he can only do so much. Yeah,
exactly.
Do so much. Dobbins had 15 attempts for 70 yards. That's nothing in comparison to what Derrick Henry is putting up. You definitely, this is chess, not checkers. And on this one, the Titans really gave them the business. Like we said, they held it down for the most part through 4 quarters, but that last run right there by Derrick Henry, you got the locomotive coming through, and they're trying to take the win, and that's what broke the camel's back. So I really thought this was going to be a great game. I did not think the Titans were going to be on top, but that's just the difference maker right there. There was no answer on offense. Like they held it down through those 4 quarters. Their defense always seems to hold it down for them. But in that one instance, we're talking about Derrick Henry. We've seen how this dude drags people. We've seen how this dude just makes it happen when it needs to be. So yeah. I thought it was a great game overall. But like you all, I picked the Ravens on this one as well.
Yeah, it definitely went into overtime, and A-Dub talked about this a couple times too. Like, you can't be one dimensional in the NFL, not
Right.
anymore. You know what I mean? Like, they'll pack up the box. You know what I mean? With 7, 8 guys, and now they're telling you you're gonna have to beat us in the air. And they don't have the receivers, and like I said,
No,
Andrews can only do so much.
Des Bryant was out there, you know what I'm saying? I got
Yeah,
his first catch in like 3 years.
like 3
But
catches for like 12 yards.
I mean, they were, but that shows you like that they had him out there running, like they have no other options.
Exactly. When you pull up someone who hasn't played in literally 3 years, like it's not looking good. And it sucks too because Marquise Brown's not looking like the player that they hoped him to be too, especially when they could have taken AJ Brown, they could have taken DK Metcalf. There are some pretty big name receivers that are playing very, very well right now for their respective teams, and Marquise ain't getting it done. So,
I mean, yeah.
And with all that said too, like one thing that we need to reflect on is like Lamar Jackson is a great quarterback. The way he can throw on the run, the way he can throw, I mean, he's a great quarterback, but this is a prime example of how you have to have people around you. Like this reminds me of when Giselle spoke out about Tom Brady, like my man can't do it by himself. Like he needs somebody to throw to. This is definitely that situation. So I agree with you, Strizzy. Like they put so much focus on the defense for this team that they kind of forgot the offense and who's going to help you put points on the board. So I can see the Baltimore Ravens continue to struggle if they don't get anything going on the offensive side.
Yeah. One of their biggest problems too is the receivers can get no separation. Like they're not, if you like really kind of watch like kind of the small aspects of the game that not a lot of people pay attention to, like me being a receiver, like I watch that type of stuff. Their receivers have no separation. They're like none. Like
here we go, A-Dub.
Lamar is getting ready to like every time Lamar throws it, it's in such a tight window where like the DB just needs to put his hand out and potentially block. They have no separation at all. So that's another thing too. They have to figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see. It's going to be a rough go though. A quick turnaround. We'll see them in a couple days.
Sure.
One game though we haven't got to yet, and I think we need to get to sooner or later. We're talking about America's team. We're talking about the Cowboys.
I was thinking of another game, but we'll talk about that one. I'll bring that one up in a little bit.
I just want to say real quick, I think that it was pretty dope. They actually fought hard, and when they got the ball back that last time, I was like, all right, it's over with. Like, we're going to actually score. And the offense was looking pretty decent, and the defense made enough stops. So I just want to shout out my Cowboys. Keep fighting, and they actually got 3 wins. They're in play. You know what I'm saying? Never know.
We got a 3-way tie in the NFC.
Yeah. And then they're playing the Washington football team, on Thursday. So we'll see what's up with that. You never know, but we could get to 5 wins, you know what I'm saying? Maybe even 6 if I'm not going crazy, and see what happens. But one funny thing, I didn't know if you guys saw this article. They talked about Mike McCarthy before the game on Saturday night. He actually smashed watermelons with a sledgehammer. Like he did this as a promotional,
like Gallagher?
Like Gallagher, straight up.
Okay.
And but he had taped on each watermelon the different game plan items that they were gonna do, and one of them was like smash the run game, and like one of them had smash the run game and had Dalvin Cook's picture on it. So I guess he was like smashing like 3 or 4 watermelons, and then he got to the last one, and DeMarcus Lawrence stood up and was like, "No, I got to smash this one," and it was the one with Dalvin Cook on it, and he smashed it. And I'm like, if this is all it takes, man, I'm sending watermelon.
That's the thing, man. We talk about this all the time. Their team just lack motivation. You know what I mean? And to me, it comes from the coaching staff. And I feel like that's what they need. They just need that like boost of confidence. Like, look, I believe in you guys. I need y'all to believe in yourselves, and let's get up there and win these games. Because, dude, like the team is great on paper. The team is great on paper. They just gotta put it together, man. They put it together, and they'll run away with this division for the next couple of years.
Well, yeah, the rest of the division is looking pretty dirty.
For sure, but that's what I'm saying. They should have the best team hands down. So yeah, man, shout out to your boys. They definitely got a win that I don't think a lot of us thought they were gonna get. So shout out to them, man. They kept fighting. They kept fighting for sure.
I'm gonna tell you that on our You Pick 'em league, I got an X on that one because I sure as hell picked the Vikings.
Nobody did in our
I don't think anybody did.
Oh.
want to talk about. The Dolphins game, but I'm gonna touch base on the Panthers too, real quick. So yeah, shout out to my boys too. They did their thing as well. They shut out the Lions. That was a great
PJ
game.
Walker.
Dude, you know what's funny? I don't want to get too hyped up yet because it's just one game and it is the Lions. But like it could have been 34-0. He threw 2 interceptions in the end zone. You know what I'm saying? And we still shut them out and won by I think 20-0. So yeah, he looked good. And one of the two things that I noticed that he did very well that I haven't seen from Teddy really all year is number one, he got our best receiver the ball. DJ Moore, 8, like he killed them. He was all over the field. He killed them. Dude was an absolute monster, and it showed because we got him the ball. Got it to him in stride, didn't underthrow him. Like, we got it to our boy. The second thing, too, is at no point in time was PJ trying to play conservative. He was like, we're going to win this game. We're not going to allow them to come back. Every single time we're on the field offensively, we're going to score. And that's one of the things that I really love, too. Like, I saw in him, like, no, I'm throwing downfield. Like, they can tell me throw the slant, but if I see dude open, like, I'm throwing it. And he was hawking it. So, right, exactly. So that's 2 things that I really, really noticed that I really love with this game. I know they're talking about, I think, Teddy could be back this upcoming week. But I still think we need to see what we have, man. If we need to let Teddy sit for another week and see what PJ's got on essentially what's going to be a down year for us anyway, let's see what he has, man, because he looked really good last week. I like to see what he has against, probably we play the Vikings this upcoming week. So, let's see what he has. But he looked good, dude. Like, it was a really fun game to watch.
It's the hard work for me, man. Like, just hearing the dude's story, going undrafted.
Cut 12 times.
Got cut several times, playing for the XFL, starting with them, throwing 15 TDs until that, the XFL stopped functioning to where he's at right now. Like, I love the fact that you said that he did not play conservative. That really reminds me of like somebody capitalizing on the opportunity. Mm-hmm. We don't know if they're going to bring Teddy Bridgewater back or if they're going to allow us to see him one more week. But talk about capitalizing. I mean, what did he throw for? Like 250 some yards. He had a TD. And like you said, like he put the ball in the hands of your best receiver. I know the run game did well. I think the running back scored a TD for them as well. So to be able to come back to be able to put up 20 points and shut out the Lions, I mean, what else can you ask for your team right now? Especially from somebody to come out of nowhere and step up to the plate. That's great for them. Like, if we reflect on our Cowboys and what's happened this year, we kind of looked at our second string and our third string like, oh shit, what's about to happen? So it's great for the organization to be able to have somebody that literally steps up to the plate and is throwing in stride and capitalizes a dub for the team when they need it the most.
For sure. It's really hard to shut somebody out in the NFL. Like, it's very difficult, you know what I mean? So shout out to the defense too. Hi, man. I said it, a couple years ago, but Brian Burns I love that kid, dude. Like, he's a beast already. Like, he was everywhere. Like, he was hounding Stafford like all game. So yeah, man, we had a really good game, and proud of my boys. They got the job done for sure.
For sure.
Absolutely.
The game I wanted to talk about was the Colts and the Packers. Just because we went back and forth on this game so many times about it's a toss-up, so on and so forth. I have a confession to make. So, like, on our show, we talked about it, and I'm like, I think I'm going to go with the Colts on this one. The Colts are going to catch them by surprise, and both y'all picked the Packers. But I second-guessed myself. So, in our You Pick 'em League, I picked the Packers.
Oh,
and then
so
they came back. Then they came with the dub. So I'm like, damn, like, why didn't I go with my gut instinct on this one? But both quarterbacks in this game had a phenomenal game. Aaron Rodgers threw for 311 yards and 3 TDs, and Phillip Rivers threw for 288 yards and 3 TDs. So it was great. It was a back and forth battle. They too went into overtime. I think there was like 3 or 4 games that went into overtime this weekend. And that was the difference of a field goal. So it was a battle back and forth. I really thought it was a great game.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah, my boy Rodrigo Blankenship from Georgia is the kicker for the Colts. He's the winner. Well,
Oh,
shout out. Anthony Wesley says Packers struggle with physical teams, and that's true.
They do. They're
And
beating the bad ones and they're losing to the good ones.
And the crazy part is like the Packers put up points early. Like at the half, they were blowing out the Colts. So the fact that the Colts kept in there, kept fighting, didn't let that of them being behind. What did they put up? They had like 28 points at the half, 28-14, down 2 TDs. So the fact that the Colts were able to put together a game plan, stick to the game plan, and come back and win that in OT by a field goal, that's super awesome. I've been seeing all the memes going by of like the Colts kicker and DK Metcalf, and it's like both of these guys play football, but the difference is like, this guy can win the game for you. I thought that was super funny. But yeah, man, we went back and forth on this game, and our damn You Pick'em League, I picked the Packers with y'all, and now I'm like, damn, like I should have kept with my pick.
Well, I have a confession to make too, though. I picked the Panthers. I was like, yeah, I think the Panthers are going to do this. But then that morning, I woke up like early in the morning, and they were like, Teddy Bridgewater's out, and I was looking at all my fantasy stuff, and I changed it. So I did the same thing. Can't second guess that first gut instinct. I'm just going to put it in one time and not change it.
For real. Before we move on to basketball, NBA talk, there's been a lot of stuff going on there too. I kind of want to get you guys' take on the benching after Tua got hit. He looked fine. He looked okay. They said he was fine, but they still benched him and put in Ryan Fitzpatrick. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, I don't know if it was like, I think they did bench him, obviously, but he was on the injury report for his left foot, and in that hit, his last play that he played in, he did kind of get rolled up on that foot. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they're trying to downplay the fact that he might be touched up a little bit, but also I do think, and they both said after the game, he didn't move the offense, and like he wasn't giving them a chance to win. So I actually kind of like the benching because you got Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's a pro, and you never know what he can do, like off the bench, just come in and that's kind of how he works sometimes, is he comes in and it's like, I can get you a drive. And I think we'll see, because they also said they're going to go right back to Tua. So hopefully they can all just be professional about it. And it was just like, hey, this wasn't your day, but we had to try to get this win. Yeah. And I kind of like Flores for being like, this is how we're going to do it, because a lot of coaches would be like, if I bench him, it might hurt his ego, so I can't really do that. When it's like, he's like, I'm trying to win this game. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I mean, they were in. I think they were one game behind Buffalo or something like that.
Yeah, behind.
Yeah, so I think they 1 game behind. So I agree. Actually, it makes sense. So when they talked about Coach said it was performance based, at first I was like, no, that's stupid, because like y'all literally benched Fitzpatrick for him to see what he has to see. So at first I was kind of like irritated, because I was like, no. Like, y'all benched this dude who was playing well, had you in position to win the division, and like, nah, you played him, like you stick with him. But after thinking about it, I kind of got on the same, I agree with you. It was like, all right, I get it now. Like, you're in position to win the division. You want to win the division. If he's not doing well for this game and you're still in a position where you could probably catch up and, get back into the game, make the decision now. And hopefully you have 2 quarterbacks who are mature enough to handle it. But at the end of the day, after next season, Ryan Fitzpatrick is probably gone. You know what I mean? So it's going to be Tua all the way, no matter what. So yeah, so I that's why I wanted to get you guys' take on, because at first I was like, no, that's stupid. Like, I don't want to hear it. He goes back in no matter what. Like, unless he's just unable to play, he goes back in. But after thinking about it, I was like, nah, okay, it makes sense.
I love it. I mean, isn't that like the logical way that you should be coaching? Like, if this guy is not moving your offense and you're talking about performance based to win, shouldn't you try the next guy? Like, that's what they're there for. I like it. I like the fact that Flores brought Fitzpatrick back in, especially because of what we've talked about on our show over and over. Like, when Fitzpatrick was first bench, we all kind of were there in shock. Like, okay, Fitzpatrick was balling, and then you bring Tua in for 2 plays. You're like, me, not so much.
No, A-Dub was all with it. He was like, yeah, sit your ass down.
I've been 100% excited to see Tua back, but I also was trying to be like, if I was the coach, I want to be a little bit more conservative with him right now. Let him heal. He just came back from a hip injury. Like, that's not just no walk in the park. If Fitzpatrick was balling in that game, let him continue to ball. You gave Tua the opportunity to come in for 2 possessions, and then you started him. So I like it. You know, that should be the mature thing to do. It's performance based. We're trying to win. We're 1 game behind. Like, let's get it. So I liked it.
Yeah. 2 games behind now because they ended up losing to Denver.
2 thumbs up for me.
Yep.
Anthony Weston says it's a learning lesson. They probably want to show him that he can be replaced. Nothing is handed to him. And that's kind of a part of it too, maybe. But
And I like it too for Fitzpatrick. You know what I'm saying? Because Fitzpatrick, after that happened, he kind of was like blindsided by it. So this is almost like your opportunity to come in and redeem yourself. And it's not even so much about redeem yourself, but it's that. Like, you're always ready. So when your number is called, you have the opportunity to come in and move the offense and do your job. So I liked it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
One thing I wanted to bring up before we also jump into NBA talk is we always talk about Herbert, right? So do we think he's the real deal? Are we giving him credit yet, the rookie?
I've been giving him credit. He killed this week.
I know.
300 and some odd yards, 3 touchdowns. Like, he distributed that ball to everybody on the field. Like, I'm telling you, I like this kid, man.
He threw for 366 yards. 306 yards, 3 TDs. So are we giving him credit? The other top performers in quarterbacks this week was Jared Goff and Cam Newton. They both were over 360 yards throwing. So what is your thoughts, A-Dub? Are we giving him credit?
No, yeah. I'm giving him credit. And I was like kind of slow on it for sure. But I mean, this was a big week for them. Huge. And I think that this could be a big thing for him to build off of. But he's already like thrown for 3 touchdowns in like 5 games or whatever. He's gonna like
every game he's played, he's thrown for 3. Like, it's crazy.
So
like, dude's crazy.
He's gonna set a big rookie mark as far as like performance and for numbers.
Right.
But I think he did his thing, but it's still troubling to me that the Chargers seem to find themselves in this game. The Jets still had a chance to come down and score and you know, send that game potentially to overtime. I still don't understand what Anthony Lynn is doing and why he can't seem to put these games away.
Right.
That's my bigger question.
No, I was going to say, I completely agree with both you and Anthony. Right now, I think it's coaching, you know what I mean? And I know the defense is kind of hurt, you know what I mean? They're hurting a little bit too. So defensively, they're getting up in these games, but they're allowing these teams to come back from behind and win. Not just come back from behind and stay in it. Like, these teams are coming back from behind and actually beating them, you know what I mean? So they got to figure something out defensively. They got to get right. But we'll see, though. We'll see.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you all. I mean, they were up 24-6 at the half, 24-6 at the half, and then they allowed the Jets to come back and put another 22 points on the board
of all teams
in the 4th quarter, and they only put together 10 points. So I agree with you. I agree with both of you. Like, what is the coaching staff doing to solidify the win and not allowing teams to come back and put points on the board, especially when you have a 2-possession lead like that? I thought it was a big game for Herbert, and I was also surprised too. Like, you let the Jets put that many points on you all. So definitely what's going on with the coaching staff for the Chargers.
Yeah. All right. Last thing before we leave NFL talk. I know we each had one thing we wanted to say before we left NFL talk, which is awesome.
Hey, get yours in, fam. Get yours in.
My last thing was, of course, I had to bring up the Monday Night Capper.
Yep.
Which was a great game between the Rams and the Buccaneers. And Moms, of course, had to show her Rams love. She said no Rams love. We're going to get around to it for sure. But that was a great game. And I did pick them in the pick 'em. And like I've been saying, that offense actually shouldn't even have been that close of a game. If you see the second half, the Rams had a lot of possessions where they did nothing with it. Yeah. But when their offense needs some points and when their offense needs to just control, like, and take a long drive, they can do a lot. Last night, they really didn't get the running game going at all, but they still found a way to move the ball 3, 4, 5 yards here or there on the passes. And they're looking like that team. And when their defense gets pressure, they can – no quarterbacks deal well with pressure. So they're looking like, you know, they were back in, like I keep saying, like 2018. So –
Yep.
Oh, but Anthony Weston says Chiefs have to face an angry Tom Brady, but I don't. I think they'll
I
be.
don't think it matters.
I
They
don't
don't drop
know.
3 in a row. I still think Chiefs get them. But dude,
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. I also picked it. We talked about this. I actually picked the Rams to win last week as well. I thought the defense is going to be a little too much. I think the defense is a little bit better. And one of my things too is, say what you want about Jalen Ramsey, man. Like that dude is a beast, man. Like
And a couple of those pass interference calls were trash.
bogus, man, bogus. Like he like his attention to detail and attention to where the like your 5 yards is, like dude is just. I'm kind of like dumbfounded. Like I literally like really watched him last night and was like, yo, this kid. We already know he's amazing, but like,
Right.
dude, you just literally watch him his game. Like he is on you, dude. Like yeah, he was 100% worth the trade. But I can't remember what they lost for him. But so smart, man. He's so good.
I think I picked Tampa Bay on this one. I want to say I picked Tampa Bay on this one, but I agree with you. And that's the same point that I brought up last week. Like, Jalen Ramsey is so good. Like, he almost deserves Defensive Player of the Year, but it's super hard to do that, especially when he's sitting on a defense with Donald. So man, yeah, he's great. I think as a corner, like he's amazing to watch. One thing I love about his game is the shit talk. Like definitely as a corner, the trash talk makes a game for me, especially on the receivers, I thought it was a great game. Same thing with you all. Like the back-to-back scoring was amazing. I just thought Tom Brady was going to come out with this. But for me, it's kind of like with the Rams, like who are they? Like every week I kind of feel like different about the Rams. Like one week, I kind of still feel like I don't know their identity. That's my thing with the Rams.
Right.
1 week they're successful. 1 week they seem to struggle. So,
well, I think we're starting to see it. Honestly, I don't mean to cut you off here, but I think we're starting to see it. But yeah, like the game against Miami before their bye week, like that's still troubling. It's like, how did they get like just blindsided like that? But
yeah,
but they're starting to roll.
And even like post game, they talked about it. Like we were just kind of like confused with their scheme, and I'm sitting there like, how are you confused with their scheme and blindsided by that? But I do agree with you. Like they kind of look like the Rams of the past that went to the divisional championship. I just need the consistency. For me, it's consistency.
Yeah. All right, that's what's up though. We will be back. Actually, we're probably gonna do a quick show tomorrow. So we'll do our week 12 NFL picks tomorrow because Thanksgiving is the holiday and there are 3 games that day. So we'll probably be back to talk more NFL talk real soon. Right back at you tomorrow. But for now, let's move on to the next big thing.
Yeah.
All right, NBA talk. Last week we had the draft, we had free agency start, and my very first question is, Myra, are you a Lakers fan now?
Yeah. I'm on the bandwagon. I've officially signed my LA papers, and I'm now
We're gonna see you in the purple and gold very soon.
Now on the Lakers bandwagon. Now let me clarify something for our fans, or let me clarify something for our Slackers. I've always been a Lakers fan because I loved Kobe. So Kobe was my dude. I got my Kobe gear, my tennis shoes. I got my Mamba gear. Like Kobe was the dude. I love Kobe and the Lakers. Of course, there was, interest in the Clippers, for certain reasons. So yes, I am now a Lakers fan.
All right, well, welcome to Lakers Nation, as Anthony Weston said there.
I must say the skies are great in the purple and gold nowadays.
Absolutely. But yeah, I am excited though about how they've retooled this roster. And it is kind of crazy because it's easy to get excited about, but when you look at the players they lost some good players too. So I think though, all in all, this team is going to be very fun to watch. But beyond that, I'm still excited to see what's going to happen with Houston. Is Harden, is Westbrook going to move, or what other pieces are still? It feels like there's still like another shoe to drop. So we'll see. But I did also want to get Strizzy your take on like the Heat, who they were able to recoup and sign too.
Nobody really. So we lost Crowder. That kind of sucked because he was huge for us in the bubble.
He came to the Suns. That's toughness.
Yeah. So they signed him for 3 years, 30 million, so about 10 million a year. But dude, he was great, man. He was great from the day we traded for him. Like he came out the gates. And honestly, I was really hoping for Iggy to kind of be what Crowder was, and he just wasn't. Crowder was that guy. Like he came in, started, and was kind of a beast for us. You know what I mean? And he played very, very well. We also got Avery Bradley from you guys as well. We signed him as well. So that'll be another good kind of lockdown wing defender, and hit some spot up threes for us when we need it. But nothing too crazy. I think right now we're still trying to figure out how to get Dragic signed back. And I think
I thought he already said he was coming back, though. It's just not official yet.
It's not official yet. So I know. Bam. We locked out Bam for the long term. So we got him on his I think 5-year, 169 million or something like that. So he got his check. He got cashed out.
Paper.
Money. So we're good, man. Looks like we're coming back. Pretty much same team. I feel like Crowder and Bradley are very similar, but Bradley I think can move a little bit more so than what Crowder can. Although he did show a lot of slash to the basket when his three ball wasn't falling. So I think we're kind of looking like the same team we were last year. Maybe, but that's fine. We'll build off that. The chemistry's already there. So as long as we continue to build off the season that we have this upcoming season, I'm good, man. Like honestly, like as dangerous as the Nets are going to be, I still have to see how they're going to be chemistry-wise before I'm really scared of them. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. They still have a very, very solid team. I'm not just talking about Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? Like they're LeVert and Dinwiddie and Allen. Like those guys too. Like they have depth. So that's what scares me most. So if they trade for James Harden, all those guys are gone. So I'm like, we'll see what happens with the Nets, but as of right now, I feel like we're in a pretty good position to get back, at least in the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I mean? So we'll see, though. We'll see.
How do you feel about the Bucks, though? They kind of added some pieces too.
They did. To me they added the piece that they're really missing, though. You know what I mean? Like I love Drew. That's my boy. I'm saying that's family. But like, I mean, dude is great. He's a closer. He's better than any point guard they have on that team right now. He's better, in my opinion, he's better than Bledsoe. He's a better shooter than Bledsoe. He can get to the basket as easily as Bledsoe, a better passer, and a lot better defender, in my opinion. So they definitely got better there, but I'm not really 100% sure if that's going to be enough. You know what I mean? Like the Heat just shut them down altogether in the semifinals last year. So I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be enough. And if we basically do the same thing again, so if we have to play them again, I don't think they want to play us next season in the playoffs. So we'll see how that goes as far as seeding. Because like I said, I really don't think they're gonna want to play Miami until the Eastern Conference Finals if they
don't have a choice. Yeah.
Right.
I have a question for you, A-Dub. We all know that you love the baby Lakers that got shipped out to the Pelicans. So what is your thoughts on Brandon Ingram's 5-year, $150 million?
Yes, I was so excited for him. Honestly, when I saw that news come down, I was like, that's what's up, because he deserves it and more. I really like this dude. You know what I'm saying? That was like when it was going down to it and I knew they were going to make the trade for AD. I was like, anybody but Ingram. But, I knew he was going to have to probably go. This dude is still not even like what he's going to be yet. And so, I see a lot of people, they talk about like Tatum and they talk about like some of these other players that are kind of around his time. But I'm like, Brandon Ingram is like the dopest to me.
That's $158 million, y'all.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, even just like how Fox, he cashed out too. You don't have to be like, you can get the franchise player money without having to be like that top player. You can get max money if you're just that guy for that franchise and that homegrown player too. So I think though that he deserves it. I think he's dope, and I'm glad that he got it for sure.
Definitely.
Other big bags that were secured. Fred VanVleet got that $85 million deal with the Toronto Raptors. That's great for a guy who went undrafted. What is y'all's
most ever? Yeah, most ever to him. Definitely shout out to him for that. You know, coming from where he came from, you wouldn't really expect it, but he's definitely played and he's definitely deserved it. So
I 100% agree.
Agree.
shout out to Eileen Carrasco in the
What
house. What's
up? She in the
good?
building. What's up, though?
Our first guest. That's what's up. That's what's up. I hope you're doing well. She probably has more time now that baseball's over too. That's what's up.
What is y'all's thoughts on Gordon Hayward? Gordon Hayward got picked up by the Charlotte Hornets.
Gordon Hayward.
4-year, 120 million. Now he's teamed up with our ball friend, and they have another big player with the Charlotte Hornets. Why can't I think of his name? Regardless, what is y'all's thoughts on Gordon Hayward?
Something about Terry Rose. I can't think of anybody else other than him.
Is it Rose?
That's the only
Terry
player.
Rozier.
Yeah.
But they have somebody else too, don't they? Have
They had the dude who in my opinion probably should have got most improved last year. I'm blanking on his name, but he improved like crazy. Gordon Hayward is the Sam Bradford of the NFL and NBA. Dude is just
paid.
You know what I'm saying? Dude just stays getting paid no matter what. Like I was super surprised. Like, was it 4 years, 120 million or something like that? Like hey, shout out to you, my dude.
But the funniest thing is he took a pay cut. Technically, I mean, he was going to make 32 million, but obviously it was smart for him to opt out and get that long-term money.
For sure, it wasn't working for him in Boston. So,
I don't know how they'll be though. I mean, they'll be maybe like fun in the East, but they're not going to be too competitive though. That's my only thing.
Right. I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll make the playoffs this year in the East. Maybe like the 8th or 7th seed.
Miles Bridges.
That's about it. Miles Bridges.
What I'm talking about.
That kid's nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully he continues to build because he went from like 2 points a game, like 2 points or something like that per game. Then his second year or third year, whatever, came up to like almost 20 a game. Like he had a huge
jump.
Yeah, huge jump.
I thought the Gordon Hayward thing, I 100% agree with you, Strizzy. Like, this dude is securing bags even after, like, huge injuries. Super surprising to me, but hey, I'm not going to hate on it. Gordon Hayward, do your thing, bro. Secure the bag.
Get your money.
The bag.
Agreed.
A couple things I wanted to bring up. The Rockets, of course. The Rockets acquired Christian Wood from the Detroit Pistons. And as of today, they signed Boogie Cousins.
Boogie, that's my boy. I love Boogie.
So what is y'all's thoughts on those two moves? We got a power forward in Christian Wood from the Detroit Pistons and technically a center with Boogie.
Well, so
hate it. What are your thoughts?
Well, I would say I don't know. I can't know if I love it or hate it until we figure out what's going to happen with the rest of the roster.
This fall, yeah.
Right.
So it's going to be very weird. One thing I did want to say real quick though, Anthony wasn't commenting. They still have Batum. They had to release Batum in order to sign Gordon Hayward, so they actually waived him because they couldn't afford it all.
For sure, might come out of his own pockets. Yeah, that's my thing too. So that's my thing too with Boogie. So for me, it's not necessarily just what's going to happen with the rest of the roster. It's also a matter too of like how Boogie's going to look. We really haven't seen him play in a really long time, and even the minutes that he did play with the Warriors, because he wasn't necessarily the best fit for that team, we didn't see him play very much. So like he's coming up to really big injuries, kind of like Clay. You know what I mean? Kind of like Clay, 2 really bad ones. So I want to see kind of like what he has left to give, before they, really, make some changes, because I think if Boogie comes back and he's Boogie, Harden can stay. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how it fits with him, Harden, and Westbrook, because I don't think it really worked too well last year. But Boogie's a beast, man. I love Boogie too. Like, I'm with AW. I just hope he comes back Boogie. You know what I mean? Like,
for me, I just have so many questions. Like, why did we sign a power forward? That's part one. Part two, okay, great, we got Boogie Cousins, but how are we going to utilize him? Like, what is our scheme going to look like? Because Boogie's not the guy that you're going to push to the outside of the three to shoot the threes. So what is our scheme looking like? What does Silas have in mind? I mean, we've seen the Rockets continually run and gun, get down there, shoot a bucket. Nobody plays defense in transition. So I definitely, I'm with you, A-Dub. Like, I need to see where the rest of the pieces fall. I need to kind of understand what the scheme is going to look like to understand if Boogie's going to be a good fit for that. And like I said with Christian Wood, what did we acquire a power forward for? But
Because y'all needed him. Y'all was small as hell. Well,
Trying to get a little bit more size.
You're right. You're right. We were playing small ball. In that sense, we do need a power forward. But at the end of the day, if we don't know what's going to happen with James Harden or Russell Westbrook, how effective is that power forward? So I do see them increasing size by getting both a power forward and a center here. But at the same time, we need to know how the rest of these pieces fall. Even with that said, like the moves that the Rockets are making, I don't think it's competitive enough in the West right now. It definitely is not competitive in the West. I mean, we see how stacked the Lakers got this year. We talked about that over and over last year. Like the Clippers had a better bench, what looked like a better bench in comparison to the Lakers. And now we're looking at the Lakers like, damn, like what is their salary cap? Because they done acquired quite some pieces this year.
Yeah. I think part of it too was like they needed the size. Like I think at the end of the day, like they needed to rebuild this roster and get some more size on it. Because this isn't a D'Antoni team anymore. And I think he kind of realized like, and if we're gonna compete in the West, we gotta get bigger. Like there's like you look at the finals and you look at Miami, like losing Bam, losing Draw, like those are two like really, really humongous pieces. And not to say we would have won even if we had them, but it really sucked not having them. You know what I mean? So like the Rockets, if they're going to compete, they have to get bigger. So it's like if we're like, regardless of whether they keep Westbrook and Harden, one or the other, neither, they still needed to add some size to their depth chart because PJ Tucker just ain't going to do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, they definitely should have kept Capella.
100%.
Yeah, they definitely should have kept Capella, especially because although he was big, he could run up and down the floor. So like they definitely had to add some size, and I think Wood is actually a really good pickup. I think he didn't get the playing time that he deserved, in my opinion, in Detroit because they had dudes like Drummond for a little while before he got traded to Cleveland, and they also had Blake Griffin as well. So, but the dude's actually really, really good. I've utilized him a couple of times in fantasy basketball. I'm like he gets rebounds, blocks, and some points. So I think he'll be really, really good for them as long as the scheme is there. So.
What is y'all's thoughts on Serge Ibaka from the Raptors to the Clippers?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he went to the Clippers a couple days ago.
Signed a $19 million with the Clippers.
Yeah,
I think maybe the Clippers are blocked for mine. Like nothing comes through. But yeah, that's okay. I guess that's cool.
It makes sense.
He can stretch a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He's a veteran. He knows what to do.
Yeah, it makes sense. You know, what I mean, they weren't able to keep Trez, and the Lakers ended up grabbing Marc Gasol. So they grabbed Marc Gasol. They no longer really need Serge, so it kind of made sense for him to head down to the other LA team.
Right.
Definitely. Other big moves. Dwight Howard takes veteran minimum. What is y'all's thoughts on that one?
I was surprised to see him go because I had heard reports that the Lakers were like calling him like every week, like, "Hey, we want to get you back." But that's cool that he went down there. I think he's from there, right? No, he's not. He's from Atlanta. I don't know.
Yeah. So he's going to Philly. He went to Philly.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's all about playing time. I think for him right now, he wants to play more than he did in LA. Because I feel like after coming off a title, you played very well defensively. He could have very well gotten more money than the veterans minimum. You know what I mean? If he really wanted to.
For a lot of the playoff run too.
Right.
When they went away from the big. So I don't know, but I actually like what the Sixers are doing. I think that they're moving in the right direction.
Oh, big time.
Doc's gonna, if he, is the coach where we all think he is, like he should be able to put together some stuff with this roster.
They're making all the right moves. I love Al Horford, but I love the fact they got rid of him too.
And got out of that contract. Like that was the big thing.
Exactly. And they got players that just match better for who their stars are. You know what I mean? That was the biggest thing with Horford. He just didn't work there. You know what I mean? Like when, it's like great player to have on your team, but does he fit? No, not at all. So I'm really glad like they're making all the right moves. They're putting shooters around their non-shooters, which is exactly what they've needed. They still have some size, and I think this might be their year where they really kind of get over some of the humps that they haven't been able to get over. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I want Anthony on this.
OKC has like 75 first-round picks. I know it's like, but they're just gonna keep being bad, so I don't get the point.
Yeah, but I feel like the fact that they have 75 first-round picks, like they need to capitalize on that and rebuild that franchise. I remember when OKC first moved into the Ford Center there at OKC, they were great when they had Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Kevin Durant. So definitely keep those first-round draft picks in your back pocket and rebuild the franchise. Like there's not much to do in OKC. So definitely having a great basketball team brings a lot to the economy for OKC.
No, I agree with that for sure. And I think it would be fun, but you can't find guys like they found all the time in the draft. And when do you want to be good? Like, 2030? Like, you got to get these people and you got to groom them. So it's like,
they're going to couple those draft picks to try to pull up some veterans sooner or later. They're going to try to get some guys away for some trades.
But that's the hard part. Is like it's still not a desirable location, so it's
exactly. To get people to stay is going to be the hardest part.
What they need to do is they need to take out some pages out of why am I trying to blank Bill Belichick's playbook and be able to find some steals later on in the draft.
For sure. Some of that great Popovich look, and that's exactly where I was going to go. Phoenix loaded up. Oubre took a shot at Sarver. He is now with the Golden State Warriors. Chris Paul is now with us, and we're looking good, man. I think Phoenix this year. We talked about them a little bit last week. I think they definitely get into the playoffs this year.
I like the moves. I like the Phoenix moves.
Same. I completely agree.
Adding Crowder, also getting Sarge back. That dude's underrated. He's kind of like low key, but he's good.
Yeah.
Got the big boy at center. Like I really like the moves and the pieces that they put together for Devin Booker.
Yeah, the pick and roll is going to be ridiculous. The pick and roll between Ayton, Booker, and Chris Paul is going to be insane because they can literally pick and roll on between the three of them because Ayton has a pretty good shot as well for a big. So it's going to be kind of crazy, man. I hope Monty Williams is a lot. Agreed. I completely agree. I actually think that Phoenix and the Pelicans get into the playoffs this year. I think OKC, if the Rockets make those trades, then I think the Rockets and OKC fall off.
100% agree.
Yep.
That's sad to say it, but I agree.
Yep.
And that you mentioned the Pelicans too, though. It's like that's another thing like that I haven't even thought about is like seeing a full year of Zion. Like that's going to be dope.
Yeah.
Like see what happens with them and like how they get better. So there's a lot to watch, man. The NBA is going to be very exciting this year.
Seriously, dude.
I've also been interested to see the moves that the Atlanta Hawks have made. Atlanta Hawks have made quite some like low-key moves of putting great pieces around the young boy. They added Danilo Gallinari. That's actually one of the trades that I actually was most surprised about just because of how much money he got. He got 3 years, $61.5 million. That to me was a lot for
he's kind of nice though. And they have money to spend too.
He is kind of nice. He is nice. I'm not going to take that away from him, but I didn't think he would get that much just because, he's spent the last couple of years at OKC. Before that was in Dallas. It was a surprise for me. Great pickup though. That's what I'm saying. Like the fact that they picked him up to put him as a piece with Atlanta, phenomenal. They also picked up Rondo. Rondo is going to Atlanta. I think that's a great pickup for that team. So what are y'all's thoughts on those two moves for the Atlanta Hawks?
First off, I love Rondo's appreciation tweet to LA, but at the end of it when he was like, "But what we doing?" And then like the same day we find out he's going to Atlanta. So. I'm actually really curious on what they're going to do with that because, I mean, I guess Rondo's not super duper short, but both their guards are kind of small. You know what I mean? So are they going to put Trey at shooting guard because he very much, you know what I mean? Like he's going to play at 2 and Rondo play the 1, but that still makes them very small and Trey's going to get kind of bullied. You know what I mean? Like he's going to get bullied. He's already a small dude. Like. So I don't know. I'm curious on how that's going to work in general. But they did make some low key moves, and I do like Gallinari though, man. When he's healthy, that dude can ball. So I'm interested to see what they do too.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of like it. And I think that Rondo could even come off the bench. You never know.
Right,
Kind
right.
of like how he did with the Lakers, but I just think he does add a little bit on the defensive side,
He
and
does.
he can teach Trey Young. But I think they will start using him off the ball more, Trey. So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely.
Magic City time for Rondo for some wings. Exactly, he's right there. But I think, but that wasn't that Lou Will that went to Magic City for the wings
Yeah. Lou Will went to Magic City for wings while in the bubble.
while he was supposed to be in the bubble.
Supposed to be in the bubble.
And so that's the other thing. Like, I think Bogdanovich is going to go to the Hawks too, right? From
Yeah,
the Kings.
I think he's already there. I think he's already there.
That's fire because he can shoot. Like
He
that
can
dude is
shoot,
cold.
dude. Yeah, he is.
So,
He's very underrated. He's good, dude.
yeah,
He's
he was
nice.
supposed to be wrapped up in a trade, but then it was going to be like a sign and trade, and he wasn't going to sign that whatever they had for him. So
Yeah.
that was pretty crazy. But yeah, lots of moves, man. Lots of moves.
Yeah.
With the draft, I was also happy that Edwards went first. That's the first Georgia Bulldog to go number 1 overall. So
Well deserved too, man.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
We'll see how the Timber. I don't know though. I still kind of, I'm gonna have to watch for him, but I don't know.
yeah.
I don't
No,
like
I'm,
Big Cat.
I'm not a big Timberwolves fan either, if I'm being completely honest. But I will watch because of him. Just like I hope he does well. I hope he doesn't get stuck with them forever. You know what I'm saying? I hope first chance he gets to be a free agent and go somewhere he wants to go, because I think the kid's gonna be nice, man. I think he's gonna be nice.
I would love to see how he works with Carl Anthony Towns. Several times in the media we've heard, Carl Anthony Towns is ego and who his character and who he is as a person. I definitely want to see how it works out between Edwards and
Big Cat.
Towns. Cat, yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's what's up. Okay, so I know we're probably okay. Go ahead.
I have a question. Do the Lakers go back to back?
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, it's hard to say that. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. There's so many things that could happen. It's
Of
not
course. So many
nothing's absolute. But if I had to say yes or no right now,
on paper.
I think they're better now than they were last year. I really do. I love Rondo. I really do. Like, he's one of those dudes that when you're in the playoffs, like, he's gonna come in there and he's gonna move the offense. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he's not gonna allow the team to make mistakes, and he's gonna keep everybody focused. But I also think that adding Schroeder to replace him is a really big move. I think that's huge. I think that's really, really big for him. But just like Anthony said, roster overall to me is better this year now than they were last year. And
That was
until LeBron starts showing some real slowing down to me, like, dude is still the best in the league to me.
That was so crazy to me that the Lakers got the sixth man of the year and a possible contender for sixth man of the year in the same year onto their roster. Like, it was mind blowing to me.
yeah.
So
Absolutely.
do you guys think Trez comes off the bench or Trez starts?
I think he's gonna start. I think he's gonna start and be protection for AD so that he can just be physical. I think he might start, yeah. But either way, even if he comes off the bench, he'll be coming off quick like he did with the Clippers. Like, he'll be that first man off.
For
And
sure.
he'll play plenty minutes. So, but I think he'll start.
Agreed. I think Marc Gasol gets in the range of like the 22 to 24 minute range, and Trez sticks around that kind of like that 28, 30 minute range.
Did y'all like the KCP re-sign 3 years?
Of course. That's my other Georgia Bulldog. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
know you like KCP. That's why I had to ask.
and I've always been riding for him, but he definitely came through in the playoffs. You know, he came through in some big moments. But also, we got to remember that he was there even before LeBron was. Like, he was part of the transition from the baby Lakers to LeBron. So, yeah, you got to keep. I figured they would keep him, but I'm happy for him that he got that upgrade in the money too.
Yeah, 3 years. What was it? I don't recall the number on that.
3 years, 30, I think it was something like that.
Something like that. It was really close to that. And I agree. I like the move too. I feel like between like him, Green, and it kind of helped when Avery Bradley opted out of the bubble. But I kind of feel like it almost didn't kind of work with those three. You know what I mean? Like, they had to like lose one or whatever the case may be. But I think they chose to keep the right person for sure. I think KCP definitely works best in that offense with that team.
Definitely. I'm trying to find that number, y'all. How much did he get? How much? KCP 3 years, 40 million.
40.
Oh, 40 million,
Okay.
dang.
Yeah, it's nice.
Get your money. Get your
Nice
paper.
I'm
upgrade.
saying.
Let me
That's
upgrade.
what's up. Yeah. And like Anthony said, that's continuity. You know what I'm saying? You get some of those guys back. Morris coming
Sure.
back too for the veterans minimum. His
Yeah.
brother got paid and they have the same bank account. So he's like, shoot, I'll take the vets minimum so I get this ring.
And they in the same city. So like
Yeah, they love it. That's what's
love
up.
it. Love it.
We're brothers.
But yeah, twins have that special bond for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm sure we probably missed a couple things for NBA talk, but we do have the entire offseason ahead of us, even though it is so exciting and more moves, I'm sure, to come. So,
Yeah.
Tristan
Oh,
Thompson,
real quick.
Celtics. Tristan
I was
Thompson.
gonna say.
Like
Oh
it?
yeah. I don't like it. Honestly, I don't like Tristan Thompson. If I'm being completely honest, he's whack. But Tatum got paid, Swiper got paid, and old boy from Utah got paid too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spider Mitchell. Yeah.
Yeah. So all three of them boys pretty much came in together. They all got paid together. So
Ingram too. Yeah.
yeah, Ingram as well. Yep.
So that's what's up for all of them. But the Celtics, they got somebody else too that I like that I wasn't happy that he went there. Was it Jeff Green or was it somebody else? I just don't like the Celtics. I just don't like them. I just can't.
As well, you shouldn't. I don't like the Celtics either. I'm not even a Laker fan.
Yeah, I just, but they did get somebody went there that I actually like, but now I already.
They got Tristan. They got in free agency Jeff Teague.
Oh yeah. Okay.
They got.
I think that might have been who it was. I'm like, man, don't go there.
No, they got somebody else.
Yeah.
I saw Melo back at the Blazers. Thanks, Anthony. I actually like that one. I'm glad he's staying there. I think he fit really well there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But like we said, they tinker around.
They do. I'm just happy that because there was talk with Melo possibly going back to New York. I'm like, I'm happy he didn't go back. Like, dude, don't waste your last good years with the Knicks, man. Like, I get it, you're from there. Stay in Portland. You'll make the playoffs again. Like, just stay there.
Yo, where did Bobby Portis go to? Dang it!
They let him go.
No, I know, but he went somewhere else and he signed, and that's like good toughness. I can't remember where he went though. Even though he's crazy,
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, guys. I appreciate you SLACers for hanging in there with us. But dang, I just want to make sure I say this one too. Let me look it up real quick.
I can't see who else. The
Bucks.
That's right. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's kind of they're trying. You know what I'm saying? They're trying.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. It's still not gonna be enough though. But,
yeah.
Bulls are doing nothing.
Right. But we'll see. Okay, so the Bulls aren't doing much of anything. The Knicks aren't doing much of anything either. They signed like one player so far. So, but yeah, like we said, we'll have to get more NBA talk going for sure. But let's go ahead and transition and slide right into our next topic.
For sure.
So what's next again?
Other sports?
Oh yeah, other sports. Okay, so not football.
Yeah, not basketball. We did that already.
Oh, okay, like hockey.
Yeah, like hockey. Feel me?
Okay, like baseball.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like soccer, right?
There we go.
Like soccer.
Like other sports. All right, so other sports. Other sports has been baseball's been kind of quiet. But one thing. They did announce that they are going to go to the Dreams game in August. It's going to be, I think, White Sox Yankees. So definitely shout out to Eileen. When she was on our show, she was actually talking about how she was was trying to report on the Field of Dreams game last year, but of course it got canceled. So glad they're doing it again. Maybe it's really even get to go. That'd be dope. Theo Epstein, he stepped down from the Cubs, which was kind of interesting. And I'm really hoping that he's going to go to the Mets. But, we'll see if he still has that magic touch. But I just remember when he left the Red Sox to go to the Cubs, everybody was like, oh, yeah, like they're going to win a World Series now. Like it's only a matter of time. And within like 3 or 4 years, he did it.
Got one, yep.
This dude, he seems to be able to build rosters. That's what he does. So I'm really hoping he goes to the Mets and maybe he's got one more in him. That would be dope. So yeah, but that's pretty much it for baseball.
Baseball's been pretty quiet.
Yeah. Hockey is another thing that's been quiet, but I will shout out my boy. I got Kermit today with me. we'll do it early. But he's in the hockey uniform, the Muppets hockey uniform. He's got the hockey stick. So that's kind of some hockey news. But I don't know. I gotta see what they're doing, or if they're planning to just go back in. Like, but the NBA they're usually mirrored up with the NBA, and the NBA is already forging ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see what's going on with hockey. That's for sure. Anthony West said Mets need some sort of management. Yeah, they do. But it's a new day in the Mets organization with that new owner, so they're gonna make it happen. But yeah, so I need to figure out what's in with hockey. I haven't really been, honestly, I don't know. I haven't heard any news about hockey either. The Seattle does not start this season. They start I think it's next year, but they do have the new NHL expansion team, the Seattle Kraken, and their logo is pretty fire too.
Really?
And yeah, it's like octopus and everything. And I was thinking they could do some dope stuff with the ice, like make it look like he's like under the ice or something like that. Like, you never know. I don't know. We'll see.
That would be pretty dope, actually.
I'm kind of excited to see like what they do, you know what I'm saying, with that new franchise for sure.
Like what's that called? Jesus Christ. I cannot think today on the fly.
It's all good. It's all good. Were you talking about the Kraken,
the octopus under the water? I think of like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, for sure.
That sense, like under the water.
Yeah.
Under the ice. Excuse me.
I mean, I think it was a Kraken in there too.
Yeah,
that was the name of it, right? Yeah, the one that Johnny Depp he had to go up against that thing.
Right.
Octopuses are kind of crazy too. I don't know if you guys ever seen them. Like they put them in jars and they find their way out, or they'll go out like through like a small hole in the side of a boat and stuff. Like, you can see some.
They're squishy, dog.
Yeah. Oh, Clash of the Titans. They said release the Kraken. That's right. What's good? What's good, Mix? MI Triple in the building. Yeah, Clash of the Titans when they had to release the Kraken. I remember the original movie was one of my favorites. And I was always scared of Medusa. You can't look right into Medusa's eyes. But anyway,
I still like check in on those movies every once in a while. Like I'll just be like browsing like something to watch, and I'll see Clash of the Titans and be like, yeah, we'll put that on real quick. Like,
yeah, they're the little robot owl and stuff.
Yeah, dude, it's dope.
But yeah, so we'll see though. I am excited to see that new hockey team for sure. Anytime a new team comes around, new gear, new logos and stuff, it's always cool to see. So. The college football rankings came out tonight, the first official ones. You got Alabama first, then Notre Dame, then Clemson with 1 loss, and then Ohio State at 4. So that would be the playoff right now. Kind of interesting. But, with me, Georgia's out of it. They have 2 losses, so I don't really care as much, but
it kind of sucks, man. I'm with you on that because Oklahoma had 2 early losses to teams they had no business losing to. But it's funny because now Oklahoma is looking like the team I know they could be, but it's like too late. You know what I mean? It's like now they're finally playing the way they should have been playing from jump. Killing teams and taking on names. Like they destroyed Oklahoma State this past weekend. Wasn't even really close, and they're playing well, so I'm happy for them. But it's like you just said, like. Too little, too late, man. Like 2 losses on the year already. Like not going down.
Yeah, I am feeling kind of excited though. I mean, I'm kind of right there with you, but at least you knew, like you had Spencer Rattler, like like okay, this is the guy. Like he's just got to figure some stuff out.
Right.
But to me, it's like that is one thing to be excited about. JT Daniels, he played well. They finally let him go, and he threw the ball down the field. This is something we've been missing. So that's something to kind of get excited about. We are ranked 9th. We are the highest ranked 2-loss team, but that doesn't really, I don't know if that counts for much. Anthony Weston, they said they're supposed to reschedule it, but I don't know if they actually are going to play it or not. The Georgia-Mizzou game, they said it wasn't canceled. It was only postponed. I think they might play it the week of the SEC championship game, actually. We'll see what happens with that, but I'm up for more football. You never know.
Absolutely.
So, that's about it for college football. Soccer, I watched my Arsenal this weekend. They had a 0-0 draw. Pepe got a straight red card for headbutting somebody, so he had to get ejected. They were playing with only 10 men. Dang. So that was kind of whack, but it wasn't even like a vicious headbutt. He like kind of leaned into him, but the dude sold it, and they sent him off. So that was kind of rough. But that was Sunday morning. But then the Cowboys made up for it with that Sunday afternoon. So yeah, I think that's it. I don't know if you guys have anything for other sports or any other like boxing, UFC. I don't really know.
Boxing's coming up this weekend. Mike Tyson and the
Oh yeah.
fight is coming up this weekend.
So that's one thing I do want to clarify. Maybe we'll be able to clean it up before tomorrow. Somebody was saying there's like no knockouts and there's like no judges and like it's stopped if somebody gets cut and like there was like this list of things that like basically was saying this is why it's an exhibition and these are like the outlining rules. But I didn't know if that was true or not because some people were saying that they're really supposed to just be going all out. So
that was in Jones's contract. He was like, "Look, if I get hurt at all, we gonna stop this fight."
Yeah, like it said, like it's like 2-minute rounds. Like there's no scoring. If anybody's cut, it's over right away. Like it was like a bunch of different stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
the way Tyson looks.
He's about to cut somebody or knock somebody out. It said no knockouts, and I'm like, how do you control that? Like
you can't.
Yeah, so I'm like, that means you don't.
What it means is if someone gets knocked out, the fight stops. That's what it means. Because like,
yeah, I got you.
Yeah, like you said, how do you stop a knockout?
Too late.
Yeah.
Or you're just saying you're not going full out. So I don't know, but people are trying to, they're charging $50 for it. So
yeah,
I don't know, but I'm not paying. I'll see it later on. Anthony West and I agree. I don't know why to do it in that case, but we'll see if maybe they are going full out. If they're gonna do it, yeah, do it. But I'll just watch it that night, like 10 minutes after on YouTube, probably.
You don't even have to do that. For sure people are going to be streaming that.
Well, yeah, but
like just click onto somebody's.
No, I wait. I don't pirate it like right at the time. I'm chill. I'm patient. I'll just wait till somebody reposts it. But yeah, so okay. I think that's it for that. For other sports, though, we'll see. Definitely, we'll talk about the outcome of that fight though next week, since that is this weekend. But Myra, would you got one of this or that for us?
I do have a this or that. So being that we talked about Herbert earlier and how he had such a great week, 366 yards. I looked into who are the best rookie QBs. So on today's this or that, we're going to focus in on best rookie QBs and who would you take to start your franchise, or who would you take to be your rookie QB? So 1 and 2, number 1, the best rookie QB season is Ben Roethlisberger in 2004. He had 13 starts, 66.4 completions, 2,621 passing yards, 17 passing TDs, 11 interceptions, 144 rushing yards, and 1 rushing TD. That year, he actually replaced their starting quarterback, and he went 13-0 in his starts. On the season, he went 15-1. They lost a divisional playoff game, but in 2005, they won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And number 2 is Dak Prescott in 2016. He had 16 starts, 67.8% completion, 3,667 passing yards, 23 passing TDs, 4 interceptions, 282 rushing yards, and 6 rushing touchdowns. His stats are phenomenal, even as a rookie. It's sad to see that he only has 1 NFL playoff win in 4 years. Obviously, his numbers speak for themselves. They need to franchise him. So what is your thoughts? Who would you take? Would you take Ben Roethlisberger or Dak Prescott as your rookie QB?
I'm taking Dak just because I can't stand Ben Roethlisberger. So I always hated Ben Roethlisberger.
You know who I'm riding with.
I'm not even a Dallas fan. I'm still rolling with the boy.
But the thing is, too, it was pretty interesting, though. I will say this, Ben Roethlisberger, he did come out ready to go, and he did come out of a kind of a smaller school. So that was interesting the way he went. He went hard. I have to go for that. But he did have a lot of turnovers. He did have some sloppy play, and he did step onto a team that had a nasty defense.
Facts.
They were not still curtain level, but they were beasts on defense. Mick says he goes with Big Ben. And yeah, Big Ben, he did step in and he showed I'm ready to be a pro. But the difference to me too is Big Ben was like a high draft pick. Also, he was a first round guy.
Whereas
When you-
Dak is a fourth rounder.
Right. When you look at Dak, he was a fourth rounder. Technically, he was third on the depth chart behind Kellen Moore, our current offensive coordinator, and then Tony Romo when Tony Romo went down. Now, I knew, I was like, Dak's going to start like when it comes around to the season because Tony Romo went down in preseason. But the way he started and kind of came out of nowhere, handled himself like a pro, only threw 4 interceptions.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they went 13-3, matched their best ever. I think their best. No, wait, did they go 12-4? Because he sat out the last game. I think he only played 15 games.
4-12.
So, okay, 12-4. So,
excuse me. The Cowboys were 4-12 when Tony Romo got hurt, and then when Prescott started, he led Dallas to 13-3.
13-3. Okay, yeah. So then, okay. So still, and I think that ties the franchise best record of like the best franchise season ever. So now, obviously, Dak came in with Ezekiel Elliott too. That helped a lot, but I'm still going Dak. You know what I'm saying? He that's my guy.
For me, it's the numbers. I definitely would roll with Dak. If we're comparing numbers to numbers, 100% agree. Dak has more done it by himself in comparison to Ben Roethlisberger. But if we're just talking about statistics, numbers to numbers, Dak had almost 1,000 more passing yards in his rookie season. That is huge. 23 passing touchdowns versus 17 for Ben Roethlisberger. You talked about interceptions. Dak only had 4, where Ben Roethlisberger had 11. Rushing yards, Dak had 282, Ben had 144. He had 6 rushing TDs to 1 rushing TD for Ben Roethlisberger. For me, it doesn't even matter that he's the Cowboys starting quarterback, but I say if you put Dak on any other team that has a solid defense, you're definitely going to a Super Bowl. So with that said, if I had to choose a rookie QB to replace my veteran QB, I would definitely roll with Dak.
It's actually funny, too. Anthony Weston said Ben was a bear to take down. He most definitely was. They call him Big Ben for a reason. But for like 2 years in a row before they got that offensive line, he led the league in sacks. Like, dude was getting murdered like every year in, year out. Like, he led the league in sacks for multiple years. So, which is probably why he's so beat up now and wanted to retire 2 years ago. But yeah, man, they call him Big Ben for a reason. He's definitely a big dude.
Yeah,
everyone's my favorite one. That's very true. I completely agree. But he was getting murdered. He was getting killed.
Yeah, but no, Myra, I like your assessment for sure. I know you're a stats gal, so
love numbers.
Definitely Dak did his thing. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
I'd love to see where Herbert finishes off on his rookie year. I mean, if he's throwing 366 yards on one game, Drizzy says he has 3 passing TDs every game.
I think like at least 6 games or something.
At least in like 5 or 6 of his last couple of starts, like he's got 3 or more touchdowns. Like, dude's been killing it. And the yards have been there too. It's not just the touchdowns. The yards have been there too.
The yards have been there too. So it's going to be interesting to see after he puts together a full, solid rookie year, what his stats look like and where he falls on this list. So I really super cool for the rookie.
Next year matters most. No film on the kid really this year. So like a lot of times it's easy to kind of come in and kind of take the league by storm. Let's see what he does next year though. That's what I really want to see. But I mean, so far though, he's got the tangibles, man. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's playing very well. He runs when he needs to. He's actually pretty athletic. You know what I mean? Like he uses his legs as well. So we'll see, man.
I just hope Anthony Lynn can keep his job.
Say that again?
I just hope Anthony Lynn can keep his job.
Yeah.
I was saying I just hope Anthony Lynn can keep his job for sure, yeah. Because it's like he's gonna be the problem.
For sure.
But,
for sure.
So final say, I do want to talk about Saturday was dope. I don't know. Other than that, I don't have anything else for final say.
Tell us what y'all did.
Yeah.
What y'all did.
Sorry, I heard you say something, then you kind of went blank. So I was like, "You want to keep talking?"
I don't know. No, I was just like, I mean, yeah. So Saturday, we were at the Hearts for Homeless and our Slacker Grace and then a couple other people, their organization put it on. They had tons of food. They had an assembly line of all the fixings you can expect on a Thanksgiving plate, rolls, desserts, and so we kind of just manned a station, made plates for everybody that came in person, and they, sat down and ate, and then also helped make a bunch of like over 50, I think, like to go plates too. So
yeah. Like A-Dub said, it was an amazing experience. We're blessed. We're you think about certain things, but we're very blessed. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those things that those people definitely needed are things that we don't necessarily struggle to receive. And Grace and her team, like they go out there every Saturday. It's not just this one point in time. They're out there every Saturday, clothing the homeless and giving out water bottles and stuff like that. So they definitely do a lot. And me and A-Dub are definitely trying to get out there, at least a minimum of once a month to help her out as much as we can. So they'll definitely see us back out there again. I know I think that's for both of us when I say our hearts are very full. It was definitely an amazing experience, and shout out to them, man. They're doing an amazing job, and it's something they don't have to do. You know what I mean? It's something they don't have to do, and they're out there doing it. So
yeah, absolutely. Serving a hot meal every Saturday, to those that need it. That's
kudos to them. That's so
a lot of work that they put into.
Right.
So yeah, that was great. We do have one video that Strizzy got a little uses a little stabilizer, got a nice little video there. So check that out on Instagram.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll be back. We'll be back for sure.
Definitely.
But I guess that's it. I don't know if we lost Myra or not. She's just sitting very still.
Oh.
So yeah, but I guess that was it though. Strizzy, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, man, not really. Honestly, I think we kind of touched on pretty much everything. There's probably going to be a lot more that's going on in, NBA free agency and all that fun stuff. So, we'll have more next week, and then again to tune in tomorrow. We're gonna probably same time. I'm thinking 3:30 Mountain Standard, 5:30 Eastern time to do the week 12 pick'em.
Yeah, we got to get that in for Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's week.
Yeah.
So, all right, that sounds good. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be right back with it. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Shizzy.
And your girl Myra May.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what day it is for our boy super producer Marcus. Taco Tuesday.